All men dream, but not equally. Those who dream by night in the dark, dusty recesses of their mind wake in the day to find that it was vanity. But he said, the dreamers of the day are dangerous men, for they may act their dreams with open eyes to make it possible. This I did. This I did. This is what it's all about. Why have you been endowed with such awesome powers? Look at what we've done as a people. You can fly right across the country, nothing flat. I was flying from Dubai to Melbourne, and I got on the plane. One of the air crew, this girl came up and she said, "Would you like to take a shower, Mr. Proctor?" I smiled and I said, "You put me on." She kept a very straight face. "No, sir, no. We're taking times for a shower. You'd have to book it." I said, "There's a shower on the plane." She said, "Yes." I said, "You're damn right I'm going to take a shower." I just wanted to say I'd had a shower at 35,000 feet. Now, and it was a big bathroom, big room where the shower was. It was a tile floor, and the floor was heated. It was warm. God, it was just the coolest deal. I've had it 2 or 3 times now. I've had a shower there. But, you know, if somebody had suggested that, you're going to fly from Dubai to Melbourne, and you can have a shower. They'll make you a hot meal. You could lay down and have a sleep, or you could watch a movie. You know, that would have been so outrageous in 1900. How did the Wright brothers ever get the idea they could actually get us in the air? Well, you see, we leave ideas like that always for other people. There is a place. We've got to understand that. There is a place. That's a frequency. You have tuned in on a specific frequency when you let your mind go, when you dream. Now, if you go back to page 22, now let's look at this. We say in all of history, there have been men and women who came from very ordinary backgrounds and yet set out with nothing but a dream in their mind and accomplished something absolutely extraordinary. It would appear that these individuals, by some emotional or capricious god, had been endowed with extraordinary powers, but they certainly weren't like you and me. They were different than us. But when we seriously study the backgrounds, we'll find they're the same as you and me. What made the difference was the decisions and the commitments they made. Now, in the following pages, a short biographical sketch of 5 extraordinary individuals from very different walks of life. We're going to take the time, we're going to discuss these, and we're going to talk about them. Now, hold on a minute. Kill that. That's good. Okay, come back. Thank you. Now, I'll frequently be talking to people that are going to take a giant step forward. And there could be a respectable risk involved. And that really causes most people to back off. And I'll ask them, I'll say, "You married?" "Yeah." "You have a family?" "Yeah." Do you think that there is any possibility that you and the family might starve to death? No, not a possibility. Do you think there's even an outside chance, just on the very outside, that you and your family would ever be on the street? No. Well, I said, then the worst that can happen couldn't happen to you. What the hell are you afraid of? Now let's take a look at what the best that could happen. And they start talking about the dream. And you see, we do this, but then we cut the dream off. We don't permit ourselves to step out and do the thing that we've dreamed up. God gave us the ability to dream, and we don't do it. Why? Now, listen to this for a minute. Analysis of several hundred people who had accumulated fortunes well beyond the $1 million mark, this is written in 1937, disclosed the fact that every one of them had the habit of reaching decisions promptly and of changing those decisions slowly if and when they were changed. People who fail to accumulate money, without exception, have the habit of reaching decisions, if at all, very slowly, and of changing those decisions quickly and often. You see, they're afraid to bet on themselves. They don't really realize what they've got going for them. Now, I want you to pay attention here, because this is the only thing we have to really understand and then make some moves. Let these lines represent levels of vibration. Levels of vibration are often referred to as frequencies, okay? So we think on frequencies. Now, let's say this is the frequency that you and I are thinking on. That's the frequency I'm on. You can use it and say that you're on the same frequency. And it's because of the thoughts we're thinking that we're getting the results that we're getting. So we take a look at our results and take a look at our life and results never lie. Results tell the truth. Results always tell the truth. Never, ever, ever lie. Now, we'll say, this is where I am, but that's really where I want to go. Now, this may actually turn into a goal, and the person may follow all the rules or the laws, and they might get there. Odds are pretty good they won't. They'll say, I'm going to do that as soon as I get the money. I'm going to do that as soon as I get the money. We were thinking of doing that, and I think we're going to do that when the kids are out of school. Yet we go on and on and on with all kinds of excuses. We say, I'm going to do that when whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. You didn't do it. Now, why? We don't know why. It's a habit. This is where we live. We never leave this frequency. Sandy quoted Kyle Cease. What did he say? We can always measure what we're letting go of, but you can never measure what you're going to get. Yeah. Now look at. If that's where you're at, pretty soon the decision dies, and when the decision dies, what we called a goal, which wasn't really a goal at all, it fades away and it dies too. Now what are we going to do? We got to know why we're doing what we're doing. We say, this is the frequency that has the thoughts to manifest your goal. A radio station's on a frequency. If you want to get candlelight and wine music, you don't go on an AM talks AM band. You get onto an FM band. If you want the ideas that's going to take you to the goal and give you the financial independence you want, you've got to get on that frequency. We're operating down here on this frequency. This is the frequency we're thinking of. We're saying, I'm going to do that when this changes. That thing's never going to change. This is where we're thinking. If you'll make a committed decision, this I'm going to do, and you don't have to know how. You do not have to know how. The second you make the committed decision, you flip your brain onto the frequency that you have to be on to attract what you have to attract to manifest the thing that you want. You see, I wondered for a long time, because I used to read that paragraph or that book or that chapter over and over and over. How did they make their decisions so fast? Where did they get their information? What gives them the ability to say, yeah, that's what I want, and they do it? They don't spend 5 seconds thinking how it's going to happen. I thought, how did they ever learn to do that? Well, it's pretty interesting. You see, they didn't have to have any information. They just had to ask one question. Do I want to? That's it. Not, can I afford it? That's why I told Sandy, I said, go live in each room. Mentally live there. Cook your meals. Have a bath. Sit and read a book. Mentally live in each room. You know what that would do? That would make her want it more. And that's all she had to do. She just had to want it. And she said, how's it going to happen? I said, that'll be interesting. That'll be an education for you and me and anybody else that knows us. Now, I think it was in October. And then I said, now let's really anchor this dolly, you know? Let's lock it up. Make sure we get it. Send a message to all those people that think you're crazy for leaving your law practice. Send them an invitation. Get a nice one printed and invite them all to this house. This is your new home for Christmas. And she did. She did it. What did Phil say? Did exactly what I suggest. See, I suggest that to some people and they say, well, that's just too crazy. I can't do that. And you just don't understand, Bob. You see, the truth is I do understand. Now, you're trying to get somewhere on this frequency and you're living down here on the lower frequency. Let's really get it straight. The only prerequisite is, do I want to? That's the only thing, do I want to? Now, there's so much information coming to you of why you can't, why it won't work, where the money's going to come from, where's the help going, where are the clients? I mean, it goes on and on and on. I mean, once you get on that track, there's an infinite number of those ideas. You got to trust what I'm telling you. Do it like I said with Phil. I said, Phil, do it until you find out I'm lying or I don't know what I'm talking about. Now I said, I do know what I'm talking about and I'm not lying. So